I've always had someone unforgettable from my high school days who I had a crush on. Holding the class reunion invitation that was in the post, I made a certain resolution. If she attends this reunion, I want to convey the feelings I harbored during high school to her. With that vow in my heart, I decided to attend the reunion. Little did I know at the time that this decision would change my fate. My name is James, just an ordinary office worker you'd find anywhere. Single, with no significant other. As all my friends started getting married one by one, I felt left behind. But with my busy work schedule, I didn't have the luxury to find a partner. Then, one day, could this be? When I got home and checked the mailbox, there was an envelope labeled Class Reunion Invitation. Upon opening it, I found an invitation to a high school reunion. The invitation contained a QR code, which led to a web page where I could indicate whether I was attending. Although the reunion was scheduled for Saturday, it fell during a busy period at work, making it difficult for me to attend. I wanted to see my high school classmates, but it seemed I had no choice but to miss this time. Just as I was about to give up and tap "will not attend" to send it, I remembered something. Madison. A name I had almost never thought of until today suddenly popped into my head. Madison was the girl I had been infatuated with throughout my 3 years in high school. I tried to recall the delicate and beautiful Madison from back then. If Madison is going to be there. Of course, it wasn't like I still had feelings for Madison. But I was just curious about what had become of Madison, whom I hadn't seen since high school. Driven by the thought that Madison might be there, I tapped the "will attend" button and sent it. And then, the day of the reunion arrived. At the venue, familiar faces were joyfully catching up, their conversations blossoming. With a glass of iced tea in hand, I looked around for Madison. Ah, there she is. Madison was surrounded by several women, being showered with compliments like, "You've become even more beautiful," and "You were cute in high school, but now you're even more stunning." Indeed, Madison had become more beautiful than she was in high school. Her beauty had been refined even further. As I stared at Madison, she seemed to notice my gaze and turned to smile at me. Is she looking at me? Maybe I stared a bit too intently and quickly averted my gaze. "James, right?" "Yes." "It's been a while. Is everything okay?" "Huh? You were looking my way so intently, I thought you might have something you wanted to say." "Oh, no, it's nothing like that." The light purple party dress suited Madison frighteningly well. Just a brief conversation with Madison, and my feelings from back then quickly came rushing back. I guess I haven't forgotten about Madison at all. "By the way, I heard earlier that you're really busy these days, right?" Yes, well, somewhat." I wonder who told her. "Even so, you made time to come to the reunion. Was there someone you wanted to see?" "Huh?" "Because, you know, if we wanted to contact our high school classmates, we could do so anytime we wanted to, right?" Caught off guard and at a loss for words, I was left speechless. Watching me fumble for words, Madison chuckled amusingly. Feeling suddenly embarrassed, I laughed awkwardly while scratching my head, trying to play it off. As Madison and I engaged in casual conversation, we discovered we shared common interests, like enjoying walks and frequently going to the movies on weekends, which brought us closer. "Hey, Madison." "Do you have time after this?" "What?" "If it's okay with you, instead of going to the after party, would you like to grab a drink with me?" As our conversation flowed, I realized that I still had feelings for Madison, reigniting my old unrequited love. Madison was momentarily surprised by my invitation, but quickly smiled and accepted it with "I'd be delighted." As the reunion came to an end, we started looking for a place to go. Considering we shouldn't stray too far from the station, while mulling over various options. Hey, how about this place? Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's go there. Sure. The place Madison suggested was a small bar located in a corner of an old shopping district. Once inside, we found it to be quite cozy. It was quiet and had a great atmosphere. The bar was run by a middle-aged couple who were both kind and attentive, leaving nothing to be desired. Madison and I sat side by side at the counter. Looking through the menu, we found a wide variety of dishes. Wow, this is amazing. Really, it's hard to choose. Madison also flipped through the menu, seemingly undecided. If you're having trouble deciding, the daily special is a good choice. What's the daily special? Today, it's buffalo wings. The lady of the house recommended the daily special, and both Madison and I decided to go for it. Satisfied with the delicious meal, Madison and I spent a pleasant and calm time together. Perhaps due to its inconspicuous location, the bar was quiet with only a few other customers besides Madison and me. What made you two decide to open this place? While observing the well-coordinated couple, Madison asked them. The wife was momentarily surprised but quickly smiled. We always talked about opening a place where we and everyone else could smile and spend a relaxed time ever since we met. Wow, that's wonderful. The wife laughed at Madison's reaction, while the husband shyly averted his gaze. After that, Madison and I spent our time at the bar, occasionally chatting with the couple. Couples like them are wonderful, aren't they? During a pause in our conversation with the couple, as the husband went back to cooking and the wife to attending other customers, Madison whispered, "Huh? Don't you admire it? A peaceful couple like that. It's nice, isn't it, to run a small but cozy place like this?" I was momentarily taken aback by Madison's unexpected remark. However, Madison's words led me to a certain resolution. I took a deep breath and turned my body to face Madison, who was sitting next to me. "Hey, Madison." "Yeah." "Do you have a partner now?" "No, I don't." Madison's cheeks were faintly red as she said this. Was it because of the alcohol, or perhaps? I see. Like you, I'm too busy with work to have time for a partner. Work is my lover, you could say. Madison laughed amusingly and took a bite of her chicken. "So, Madison, you're busy with work too. What do you do?" "I'm a public servant." Madison answered shortly, without turning her gaze towards me. "A public servant, huh?" I imagined Madison working at an office, reaching out to help those in need. That suits her. Madison had always been kind and gentle since our school days, so it seemed like the perfect job for her. "What about you, James? What do you do?" "I'm just a regular office worker, nothing special." I see. Madison seemed to be enjoying the conversation. It was getting late into our meal. "Sorry, I'm going to use the restroom." "All right." "Okay." After watching Madison head to the restroom, I called over to the bartender. "Excuse me." "Yes." "Could I get the bill for the two of us, please?" "Sure, no problem." The bartender's wife promptly moved to the cash register after overhearing our conversation. As I took my wallet and headed towards the register near the entrance, the door to the bar opened with a loud noise. "Huh, there's hardly anyone here." A group of 6 rowdy-looking individuals entered the bar as if they owned the place. "All right, this spot good." "Yeah, it's empty, anywhere's fine really." "What do they have here?" "No idea." The ruffians spread out the menus on the table and started discussing loudly what to order. "Hey, that looks good. What's this?" "This is..." The group began to make a lot of noise, talking loudly. And then, unbelievably, they started bothering the other customers who were just trying to enjoy their meals. Their intimidating appearance seemed to terrify the other customers, who were met with smirks from the ruffians. "Don't be so scared. We're not gonna do anything to you. Yes, we just wanted to make friends by talking to you, that's all. Hey, hurry up and take our order." The once quiet bar became noisy. The bartender stopped cooking, unsure of how to handle the sudden situation, while his wife looked on the verge of tears as she watched the ruffians. I couldn't stand the thought of these people ruining the peaceful atmosphere of a bar started by a couple who wanted to make their customers smile. Feeling I couldn't just stand by and watch, I decided to confront the ruffians. "Hey, you guys. What do you want? Don't you care that you are bothering everyone around you? What, you playing hero? Cool, man. Huh? Mind your own business. We're paying our way, so it's all good. This place is for quietly enjoying drinks and food. If you can't respect that, you telling us to get out, what gives you the right to act all high and mighty? Then you're the one who should leave. How about we just rent out this place for ourselves? Then we won't be bothering anyone, right?" The ruffians seemed unfazed by my attempt to intervene. Instead, they suddenly decided to rent out the place and forcefully kick me out, pushed by several of them. Since I was thrown out with nothing on me, all my belongings, including my phone, were left at the counter seat. Realizing I had left my phone behind when I reached for my pocket to call the police. "Excuse me, do any of you have a phone on you?" I asked the other customers who, like me, had been kicked out of the store, but it turned out that everyone had left their belongings inside, and not a single person had a means to contact the police. Madison. I remembered that Madison had left for the restroom just before the ruffians showed up, which meant she was unaware of their presence inside. I tried to open the door, but it was locked from the inside. I moved to a window through which I could peek inside without being noticed by the ruffians. Just then, Madison came out of the restroom. Unaware of the situation, she inevitably ran into the ruffians. Upon spotting Madison, the ruffians quickly surrounded her. "Hey, look, a lady all by herself. Got ditched by her boyfriend. Huh? Poor thing. Why don't you have a drink with us and cheer up?" One of the ruffians put his arm around Madison's waist and pulled her close. Madison. Unable to bear the thought of Madison being touched by their filthy hands, I tried to open the door in a rage, but it wouldn't budge. Even trying to force it open, I couldn't manage it alone. From my perspective, Madison seemed frightened by the ruffians, but in reality, she was completely calm at that moment. The reason for her calmness would soon become clear. Instead of Madison's scream, what reached my ears as I struggled with the door was the sound of men's groans and a loud commotion. What? Is Madison being attacked? With the help of other customers, we managed to pry the door open, but what I saw was an unbelievable sight. The delicate Madison was gracefully taking down one ruffian after another, as if in a scene from a comic book, despite their larger size. Madison was completely unharmed. In fact, seeing the situation, I almost felt sorry for the ruffians. "You bastards, we were being nice, and you got all cocky." Madison continued to throw the ruffians to the ground one after another. Her movements were so swift that I couldn't even join in to help, and I just watched the ruffians fall one by one. Actually, even if I had tried to help Madison, I would have just gotten in the way. Once the ruffians were all lying on the floor, unable to fight back, Madison let out a small sigh. Then, She casually took out her phone from her pocket and started making a call. "Hello, this is Madison." "Yes, Madison. I'm currently at an AB district." Listening in, it seemed like she wasn't making a personal call, but rather one related to her work. James. After ending the call, Madison immediately noticed me and hurried over. Wearing a slightly awkward smile, Madison approached. "Madison, are you hurt at all? Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine." "That's good to hear." Relieved to know Madison was unharmed, I could finally breathe easy. A few minutes later, several police cars pulled up in front of the store. They arrived quickly. Madison and I walked out of the bar together towards the cars. There, a police officer greeted her with a salute. "Good work, Madison. Great job." I could hear such exchanges reaching my ears. "Everyone is inside. Can you take the statements later?" "Of course." Madison seemed to be acquainted with the officers. There were so many things I wanted to ask Madison, like whether she was injured, what had happened, and how she knew the police officer, but I couldn't find the words for any of it. After some hesitation, I decided to ask Madison the one thing that was on my mind. "Madison, are you by any chance?" "Yes." "Related to the police?" "James, you're sharp." "Yes, I'm an active duty police officer." Madison pulled out her police badge from her bag. Indeed, the photo and name on it were unmistakably Madison's. It seems that after graduating from high school, Madison entered the police academy. It felt like a career Madison, with her strong sense of justice, would choose. It made more sense than her being a public service worker. Right, a public servant, huh? Well, yes, that's true. Police officers are public servants, so Madison wasn't wrong. But I felt a bit frustrated that I hadn't figured it out myself. The way I took down those ruffians, it's something I learned during my time at the police academy. See, I can handle being targeted now. Is that so? Sorry for keeping it a secret. I felt like the image you had of me was still from high school, so I just went with it, you know. But where does someone as delicate as you get that kind of strength from? Haha, it's martial arts. Once you learn it, anyone can do it. Are you disappointed? What? No way. Really? That's good. Madison smiled at me, looking relieved. Actually, it's way too cool, and the gap with your usual self made me fall for you even more. I like you, Madison. I'm so happy that you first worried about whether I was hurt. Your kindness hasn't changed since high school, and that made me so happy. You're always you, James. Does that mean? Yes, I like you too, James. And so, the feelings I harbored since high school finally found their resolution, and Madison and I officially started dating.